What up, though?
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all.
We all know what we're really here to talk about, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But we hope that you're well and
that you take
doing things that bring you joy and taking care of yourself, because that's literally the most important thing right now. All these text messages and can you help us? And we need, no, I cannot. Black women is off duty. Off duty. Do you understand me?
At least
don't
the rest
ask
of this week.
us for nothing. I'm going to say for the rest of 2024. You can try in 2025, but that's probably doubtful too. But we're definitely done for the rest of the year. Don't ask us for nothing else. Nothing.
In all transparency.
But anyway, go ahead.
Hey, yeah. So, as you can tell, we're a little bit on one.
And gonna stay on one.
We're a little bit. We're trying to process. We're trying to understand. You know, I don't think we have to look too far to understand how the consequences of our actions.
Some of us do. Some of us
can have ripple effects, right? Beyond our immediate sphere. We should understand that. But given the events of this week, I don't think some people understood that.
Some people are not tapped in.
They are not.
They're still not tapped in. They did it and they don't know what they tapped in.
Listen, forgive them for they don't know what they did. But anyway.
That's for Jesus, not for me.
Accountability has never been more crucial because it encompasses personal growth and professional success. But this week, we're going to talk about it in the realm of politics because, as we all know, it's about to shape up our experiences and our outcomes. And if you want to talk more about how the lack of accountability is about to transform our lives, then stick around. This episode is for you. Hi, I'm Pam Williams, a mother.
And I'm Jessica E. Williams, a daughter. And this is a mother and a daughter truthful chat, where we discuss our 35-year multi-layered relationship.
We've been through so many ups and downs. Not only are we family, but we're business partners in the high-stress world of event planning and production for short films.
We've also shared the same therapist for over 10 years. What some people call codependence, we call collaboration.
So join us as we share stories from our lives,
have candid conversations with other mother-daughter duos,
and shed light on the roller coaster ride of being a woman while raising a woman. So, all right. Welcome to Truthful Chats, designed to engage us in the ongoing practice of getting to generational wellness. You can read more on that in the description below. But if you've never heard it before, that's because we made it up. And as Jess likes to say, if you hear anybody talking about it in these streets, let us know. Let us know. So each month we have a Create Generational Wellness theme that comes under our big umbrella. Well, that is the big umbrella, right?
That is the big umbrella.
Yeah. And then we have
Creating Generational Wellness.
Right. Creating Generational Wellness. And as a part of that, we do a Truthful Chat every Thursday at 7:00. And yes, we did.
Welcome to Truthful Chats. You're supposed to clink your glass.
She doesn't let me do the opening often, so I get carried away sometimes. But anyway, welcome to Truthful Chats. Clink, clink. Truthful Chats is the podcast we do. It's part of Create Generational Wellness. And so we have a theme every month. Mm-hmm. And the theme for November is accountability.
Aptly titled.
And today's chat is accountability 4 years and counting, because we're about to embark on a new journey. A remix journey of accountability that I don't know why we're there, but I digress. So let's not go there yet.
The worst sequel you've ever seen. And who knows if it's going to be 4 years. Okay. We'll get into it. But this is not like anything we've ever faced before. We'll talk about all the reasons for that later. So before we get super deep, let's just talk strict definitions for those of us that like education and to be educated so that we can make informed decisions. Is this on? So when you're educated, you can make informed decisions. Yes. Okay. When you're educated, you can make informed decisions. That being said, let's get into the definition. Okay. Accountability. Would you like me to spell it for the class? ACCOUNT. That's account. Ability.
The ability to account.
Bility.
The
Okay?
ability to account for what you're doing.
Based on what's happening in the last, people are not educated. Okay, so we gonna dumb it down. Okay, we're gonna take it down. Okay, accountability, your ability to account. So that is your willingness. That means your will has to be involved. You have to want to accept responsibility. That is response for your mother trucking self, for your own actions. Okay, decisions. And consequences, which are what happens as a result of the decisions that you make. Those could be good consequences. Those could be bad consequences. The point is, every action has a reaction. Amen. So it's owning your success as well as your utter, sheer, abysmal, can't come back ever failures. That's not true always in your personal life, though sometimes it is, but we're speaking about this one thing in particular. And being committed to learning and improving from your experiences.
Oh, God. It's a sermon there, right?
Dare I say that's not the American way, but we're going to try and correct that today, okay? Continuing, this is bare basics. We're just laying foundation, okay? Because in a class, usually, some people don't know this, in a class, usually you start with foundational things. That's the bottom, the base, and then you build things on top of it. I don't know if some of y'all built blocks, but that's usually how that works. Some of y'all were not even good at doing that.
And if your foundation was shaky, they fall over.
Anyway, continuing to lay foundation, there are 3 C's of accountability. 3 C's of accountability, okay? Number 1, clarity. Clearly lacking there. That is understanding what is expected of you and what you expect of others. Particularly really in either any leadership capacity, that could be in anything, okay? If you are in charge, you're responsible for something, people, even yourself, you should understand the expectations of you. You should be in touch with your star player and whoever else is associated with your star player, what you expect of them, okay? 2, commitment. You are dedicating yourself to following through on your responsibilities. What are you responsible for? Don't be worried about the next person. What are you responsible for? Okay. You're committed to that. Okay. Number 3, consistency. You want to make sure that you maintain that steady approach to your commitments over time. Okay. 3 C's: clarity, commitment, consistency. All that means is you're in touch with your star player. You and your star player have made some decisions about how you're going to function. You want to alert all the people around you about how you're going to function. You are committed to following through on set responsibilities for yourself and what you said to others and what others have promised to you. And then you're going to keep that thing going. You want to be consistent as time goes on, okay? With following through on the commitments that you made. You can't be like, well, I feel overwhelmed and off-put and I can't. You made these executive decisions. So you got to live with them, okay? The 3 D's of accountability. We was on the C's. Now we're on the D's. A, B, C, D. D comes after C. Okay. Based on this week's events, I'm like, woo, we was giving a lot of people a lot of credit for a lot of things. A, B, C,
Functional
D.
intelligence, as Eric Benet just said. Functional intelligence.
A, B, C, D. We're on D. The 3 D's of accountability. Accountability starts with an A, okay? A, B, C, D, the 3 D's of accountability. Desire, okay? That is having a genuine want. You want to be held accountable. You want somebody to say, hey, you said you was going to do this. I see it's not done. Have you done it? Accountability, okay? That's desire. That's the first D. 2, discipline. Dirty word, we all hate it, but important nonetheless. The discipline is when you develop the habits. That's when you do the same things over and over again, certain routines over and over again that help support the accountability of getting you to the desire that you said you want, okay? Desire, discipline, that's the second D. We're on the third D, determination. I know that's a big word for some people. Determination. Okay.
Not anybody
That,
on our podcast.
I hope not, but I don't know. Okay. After this week, I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't know what we're dealing with out here. So I'm just trying to do my part. Okay. The third D is determination, which means you persevere through the challenges that will allow you to get through your accountability. Okay?
Maintain said accountability.
You want to maintain that accountability. Okay. So you want to have desire, you want to know what you want to accomplish, what you want to be held accountable for. You want to be disciplined, you want to set up the routines, the habits, the things, the functions, whatever you need to be able to repeat repeatedly to get that desire done. And then you want to have determination. You can't just do it one time and be like, I'm good. Unless it's a one-time type of accountability thing. But more than likely, it's probably not. So you got to like keep that thing pushing. Okay. Persevere, because it's not going to be easy. You want to quit. You don't want to do it. You got to keep pushing. Okay. So why does accountability even matter? Particularly in times like these, we all know. But anyway, it's particularly important because when you take responsibility for your actions, okay, then you get to gain control over your life. You don't feel like everything is happening to you. You so put upon, I don't know, I can't, I don't know. No, because you being responsible, you being accountable, you putting your little steps and things you need in place to be able to move your life forward in a direction that you feel works for you. Though it may not work for everybody else, but it works for you. We're talking about you right now. Okay. So this level of empowerment, okay, just gives you some increase in your confidence, your self-esteem, that you are in touch with your star player. You and your star player are doing what you feel like you've been called and led to do, though it may be at the expense of millions of people. Anyway, there was a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. Okay, those are two different things. Personality, social psychology. That's how you deal with other people, the mental minds of others. And that found that individuals who consistently, now we talk about, take responsibility for their actions, have higher life satisfaction and lower levels of stress. Why? Because you're worried about you. You're not worried about everyone else. You're worried about you. And as we can see, some of you are already doing that. So anyway, if you pay attention, accountability can help you learn from your mistakes, grow from your mistakes rather than viewing everything as a failure. We talk about this all the time. That's having a growth mindset. That's been like, oh, I done ran into some challenges, some issues. I'm facing some stuff that you may have brought on yourself or others may have brought on you. We're really going to focus on the you brought it on yourself part because I don't really have the time for others right now. So really, we just focusing on you. Okay. So if you can learn from your mistakes,
own your errors, own your errors.
Stuff, okay. Own your stuff. That's all we're saying. That can help you develop, improve, so you don't again feel stuck. We about growth around here. And accountability is one of them things that helps you when you start something and then it gets harder, you don't want to finish it. And then if you have the right people, systems,
support, encouragement,
mantras, affirmations, whatever your thing is, right? Eventually your persistence pays off and you get to that, long-term desire, achievement, said thing, and you get to build trust with other people, and other people get to build trust with you because they're like, oh, you do the things you say you're going to do. And we like that.
Yes, but owning your mistakes, that's one of my pet peeves. That's one of the things that I think.
A pet peeve.
Not a pet peeve, but it's a...
When you don't own your mistakes or other people don't own their mistakes?
Period. When people don't own their mistakes. Me, you, not you, specifically, but generically, when people don't, I cannot say, you know what, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And then it's the only way you can grow. It's the only way you build trust and respect with other people. Because if you're big enough to say to somebody,
you're humble. Bam, 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 bam. This is from King Kendrick's tour.
Yes.
For damn us all. But anyway, go ahead.
So if you can do that, though, you learn to build trust and respect with other people because they're like, she gonna try, she gonna do her best. If she make a mistake, she gonna at least
I'm gonna try and fix it.
I'm
not gonna be like, that's your bad. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that part is the part I'm talking about.
You messed up. It's messed up, but it ain't got nothing to do
with
me.
That's
on you.
It wasn't me. I didn't have anything to do with and then you be the main reason
When
why.
people be deflecting like that, when they be like, oh, no, immediately, like we haven't even said 2 words. Everybody like, hey, something going on. And you be like, it ain't me. I ain't do it. That's not me. You, it's definitely you.
Bin
You
Laden
the
didn't
main
blow up the
projects. It was you. You definitely the person, and you told on yourself, and your conscience told on you. So
Yeah.
don't be.
And
that
everybody
person.
know. But anyway, so
Except you.
yeah, that's one of my things. I'm like, you can't build trust, you can't build respect if you can't own up to your mistakes. All right. If you're gonna be a leader, you got to demonstrate
In any capacity, though.
In any capacity.
We're not talking politics.
We talking about if you're gonna lead your 3-year-old and your 6-year-old. I don't care what it is. You have to demonstrate accountability because it's a powerful example. If you teach children, if you teach anybody, if everybody in the culture could come on and admit when I made a mistake, that's probably not how I should have done that. Could have gone about this another way. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, whatever. Then everybody feels responsible for the collective success and things are going to be better. Simple. It's kindergarten stuff. Really. It really is.
But obviously some of y'all was skipping y'all kindergarten lessons. That's clear.
Taking responsibility for our actions forces us to confront the areas where we need improvement. I know some of y'all don't think y'all need no improvement. You don't think you need it anywhere.
Lies and deceit.
This again is the first step of accountability, that you need to be able to say, yeah, I could get better at that. And this is why, because this is the mistake that I made. And maybe if I listen to what somebody else has to say and recognize where I made it, it's the first step toward positive change and personal growth. If you can take responsibility for your action, creates a ripple effect all the way through society, right?
Ideally.
It should. Lord have mercy on us all. But we didn't really come here to talk about the good parts of accountability. We got the whole month to talk about that. What we really would like to talk about, because this is all Jessica wanted to talk about. And I was like, we gotta put something else with it. Why are we so upset? Among all the reasons why we could be upset. But I know and there are me personally, and I'm getting ahead of myself, the lack of accountability for some people in America is just devastating. It's unfair, it's unprincipled, it's immoral, it's all of the things, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
But that's America, though. All those things she just named.
So let's talk about the effects of avoiding accountability, which is where we will take our text from for today, as they say. So we can readily observe the 4 Ds of avoiding accountability are popping up everywhere. And there's so many examples in the national news if you just want to go there and talk about it. So the better you get at identifying these cues and when people are doing this and what it looks like.
And we're going to talk about what they are.
You can't be gaslit. You know what I mean? You're going to recognize.
They don't try them.
That you're going to recognize.
The Gaslight Nation is strong. They're the Fire Nation of America. Whew. They're in the world. They're the Fire Nation. Shout out to all the Avatar Last Airbender kids. So
the better you get at seeing these cues, the easier it's going to be for you to step out of the vortex that's just going crazy and the chaos and whatever, and stand back and go, oh, I know what this is. This person is doing this, one of these 4 Ds. And over time, you get really good at it, and then you can refocus the conversation if you need to, or you can decide what you're going to do about it. Because some people are just professional avoiders of accountability. And if those people are in your life, bullshiters, you can decide if you want to deal with them or you don't want to deal with them or how you're going to deal with them. But the most important part is recognizing
that they need to be dealt with. That's the most important part. They need to be dealt with.
They need to be dealt with. Okay.
And clearly they should have been dealt with prior to. But sometimes everybody ain't learned their lessons when they were supposed to. So sometimes you got to get with them right then. Okay. You might be the dealer.
Okay.
That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to encourage somebody because real talk. Sometimes we say it all the time. You're the change agent you've been waiting for. Okay. Don't be trying to look to be like, well, maybe they mama gonna get them, and maybe they. I'm not talking about minors. Don't be trying to discipline nobody's kids.
But grown people.
Sometimes you it. They mama, they brother, they sisters, they cousins, they aunt.
Have let them slide for
It's too
years
late.
and years
You
and
done,
years.
you done came into my classroom now, and now we about to do it. In love, I love you. I want you to grow. I want you to be better. But I'm the dealer because I know the D's. You might not know them.
Y'all see what I've been dealing with over here, right?
Please, she's being very cutesy and very demure on here.
I've been the
But
worst.
okay.
I've been the worst. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, identifying what the 4Ds are and how to deal with them is an important tool if you can identify them and then learn what to do about them. And we don't have all the answers, but we're gonna give you just we're gonna lay out for you what they are. And as soon as you hear it, you're gonna go, oh, I know that. I know somebody that does that, or maybe you do that. So say ouch, say amen, whichever. But we want you to understand what these deflectors look like. And you're going to recognize them from the news. I'm just going to be honest. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is part of the presentation. You know, some of y'all wasn't in school. Okay, so now we're going to be able to show you a visual. This is a visual aid for the 4Ds. This is an article on Medium by Jolene, I think it's.
Jolene.
That's funny.
Jolene,
anyway,
Jolene.
The 4Ds of accountability.
And it's about accountability.
Are as follows.
It's jokes here all day today.
Shout out to Beyonce for her version of Jolene. Okay. Let's not be distracted. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. It's been a rough week, y'all. Anyway, the 4Ds for avoiding accountability are as follows. You can see. Deny. Your girlfriend's lying, baby. It wasn't me. Okay. That was a song, by the way. Deflect. It's this thing's fault. Okay. As you can see right here, hopefully.
It's that person's fault.
Defend. Wouldn't you do the same given the situation? I really okay. And diffuse. Everyone is doing it. So these are applicable to individuals, groups, organizations, politicians, pick a thing. These are tactics, right? Things that people use to sidestep they daggone responsibilities.
And accountability.
And excuse, they don't need accountability for their mistakes, their wrongdoings, their failures, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So deny. This the one, again, it's very clear. It wasn't me. Okay. It's just I'm outright refusing to acknowledge that I made any kind of mistake or did any kind of wrongdoing. Okay. It was your girlfriend's line, baby. It wasn't me. Shout out to oh wait, it was a Tyrese. There's one with Shaggy too. That's the one I'm thinking about. Shaggy. I don't remember where that particular wasn't me was from. Or that didn't happen. I don't know that didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that. I didn't say that.
Oh, that one right there.
I might have you on tape saying it.
Oh, that one.
But
right
you be
there.
That's my favorite on reality shows when people be like, I didn't say that, and they be like, roll the tape. Okay. So
or in the news.
When politicians,
that's the biggest reality show.
Denying that there was a part of things that we all watched them be a part of, right? That they be like, that wasn't me. I wasn't there. Joe Biden was the president. I didn't say that. What you mean?
Anyway, I didn't say they're very fine people
on both sides.
I didn't.
Now, granted, you on the TV, I watched you say it, but okay.
I didn't say let's march down to the Capitol and we're going to take our country back.
Even though
I'm going with you.
I watched
you. You didn't say that.
I watched you on TV. Okay. Oh, for those of that were listening, we showed a visual of the 4Ds, but we read it out loud, so you didn't miss anything. But go to that Medium article by Jolene. That's Jolein. And check it out.
On accountability.
Number 2, deflect. Okay. This is shifting the blame, right? Or diverting attention away from the primary problem, which is probably you. Or something you didn't do, right? Or something fell through the cracks or whatever. And you like, that's not me. Like, I'm just everything is really about, all of these are really about getting it off of you. Like that's really the thing. Okay. So I
told them that report was due. You're in charge now. You the head of the department, and you're gonna say that you told the coordinator that the project was due on this day and she didn't finish making the copy.
You didn't check in to see if they needed any help, any support, nothing. You were just like, Now, granted, I am a person coming from some of our work experiences. Sometimes it is somebody else's fault, and you need to shift that blame where it belongs. But I have receipts, which we will talk about. If you're gonna blame shift, you got to be able to prove that thing. Okay. And I'm talking about not to shift the blame so you don't be held accountable for what you did wrong. You need to be held. I'm talking about when I was on my P's and Q's, but they wasn't on their P's and Q's in terms of the group project, especially the group project of America. I did my part. Now I don't know what you was over there doing. So when you need to shift the blame and this on purpose, and you got your receipts, you like, I did my part.
And if everybody would
because that's accountability.
Listen, if everybody would step up and claim accountability for what they did or did not do, then you wouldn't need that. But as we know.
But anyway, so deflecting is literally when you be shifting the blame, not in that context, but to divert attention away from what the real thing is that we need to be handling. Okay, so you again are not accepting responsibility, but you trying to find somewhere to assign the blame. It's really you trying to avoid consequences. You trying to be like,
or avoid the consequences falling on you.
Correct. It's all about saving yourself. Okay. So whether that's a person or a group or some sort of external substance, it's not me. That's not. Why are we even talking about this? Because the real issue is that Bob be stinking up the break room when he be heating up his fish. Like, we wasn't even talking about that. Like, why are you bringing that up? Right. We're talking about the copier and the fact that the copier is broken. And every time you come here to copy on Friday, you be using the wrong size paper and then it's stuck and then you just leave. You don't fix it. Right. So that was a very petty example and regular, but.
And one that I'm sure you've dealt with.
Anyway.
In your life.
In a previous life. So deflecting is a thing. Okay. So that's like, if something's wrong with a business, if a business owner's having an issue with like a customer or something, right? They're filing complaints about faulty products or supplies. It's just another example, right? You just be like, that's your fault for not knowing how to use the product. The way we make the product is just fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Or blaming the vendor that you got it from.
Or being like, that's not on us.
That's a supply chain problem.
It came from China.
It came from China, and I don't know what to do about it.
It came from China. I don't know what to do.
Y'all gonna be paying more for that stuff from China in a minute, but
congratulations to y'all for y'all little tariffs. Anyway, deflectors are people who just, they're gonna take you away from the issue. They're gonna divert your attention. They really are a Decepticon at the end of the day. They want to deceive you into thinking that what you really came there to talk about is not what you really came there to talk about. Okay. They're gonna take the discussion somewhere it doesn't need to be. They're gonna put the blame on somebody else that's not them. It's really all about self-preservation, even if it's for all the wrong reasons.
Oh man, that used to happen to me all the time when I worked in trade shows. Like when we're doing move-in and stuff, we have to wear closed-toed shoes because there are forklifts on the floor. There's all this different stuff, whatever. And so I would go around, and my exhibitors loved to wear flip-flops when they were moving in. I'd be like, hey,
it's just unsafe.
You got to put some shoes on. The forklift's going to come by. It's going to roll over your feet, this, that, and the other, whatever. And they'd be like, so-and-so, look, so-and-so over there ain't got their shoes on.
But I'm talking to you, though.
We all wear flip-flops. We wear flip-flops all the time, blah, blah, blah. And granted, a lot of times, a lot of them they were used to doing shows that were outside. So, yes, they did.
But they tried. Flip-flops. The rule is this, but they decided to deflect and say,
the rule is that.
Well, we all doing this, so you should just let us do it.
Yeah. So, and so many other things they used to deflect at the trade show. My booth is supposed to be this size, but I'm going to take 20 extra feet, 10 extra feet over here. So-and-so's out in the aisle. So why shouldn't I be? All the deflection.
What does that have to do with you, though?
All the deflection, but I was not the one. Anyway, defend. When faced with accusations, some individuals want to defend their actions. Even if they're evidently in the wrong, they know they're in the wrong.
Clearly,
they're going to tell you why they did it, justify their mistakes, downplay the consequences of their actions.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I mean, it got done. I mean, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. You got to defend. You can't just say, yeah, I know. I said.
Why are you taking this so seriously? Like, what's wrong?
Yeah, you can't just.
It ain't all that serious.
Yeah, you want to just keep defending so that it doesn't come on you. Again, the point of all these is that you don't want the smoke to come back to you for whatever reason, and it shouldn't
even if
be
you
smoke.
deserve deserve it.
Right. And it shouldn't be smoke. Like we said earlier, if you're doing this right, it should be improvement. It should
It's
be
a growing
feedback.
experience.
It should be a growing experience. But some people take it as smoke immediately. So they don't want to hear it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want you saying nothing to them about it. And, they're defending what they're doing. Some people in positions of power may defend doing unethical things because they feel like they have that right or that privilege
and the complexion for the protection
or all of the things. So they will make up any excuse to say why they did what they did was right. All right.
And also, like, I get it. It's in terms of like not sometimes owning your mistakes or your failures or whatever. Sometimes it's entitlement. Let's be 100. You just think you can do no wrong, and people been kissing your butt your whole life, so you just feel like you can do whatever. Some of it is also shame, right? Some of us deal with shame we all deal with shame in various ways.
Mm-hmm.
But like the shame of you got something wrong, it wasn't right, you feel embarrassed, whatever. So then that gets the puffing up, right? Sometimes
sometimes it's pride and shame.
Pride and shame, instead of just taking a humble pill and be like, you know what, I messed that up, or I didn't understand something, I wasn't clear on the directions, right? Or whatever the thing is. And like sometimes those are legitimate questions, but you got to ask that before you do the thing. Or if you think you're clear and then you find out you're not, take the L and be like, my bad, I thought I totally understood where you was coming from and I did not. I apologize. How can I fix it? Well, you picked it up, so you told me that and then I did it.
Your instructions weren't clear. You didn't, whatever.
I literally just watched someone do that this week.
Yeah.
And then got mad, and I was just like, I don't think this needs to be antagonistic both ways. Like, I was like, I just think it was a communication error. Communication errors happen, and y'all need to all have grace for each other in this moment. But
it's hard for some people.
That would make too much sense.
And we're going to talk about why in a minute. And then diffusers. Diffusers want to diminish the significance of an issue. Why you make such a big deal out of that? It doesn't carry that much weight.
That's a trigger for me. Don't ever say that to me.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. No, I don't mean you. I mean anyone watching or listening. Don't ever say I didn't know it held that much weight.
Yeah. So by doing this, people are trying this gaslighting 101. They're trying to turn the table on you and make you think you're the problem or that you're overreacting when it really is an issue. But they're trying to just blow some smoke and make it like disappear.
A mirage, if you will. They're trying to make
trigger for me.
Foolishness.
Yeah. So listen, it's important to acknowledge that all of this is really kind of human behavior. It's human nature. Being held accountable for your work, putting it on display. Sometimes that is attached to our identity so much that if you say something about what we did, it's like you're personally attacking us. You're attacking us as a person, not what we just did. And we're on full display. Self-preservation will require humans to do crazy, unexpected things, as we saw this week. So what can we do about these people and us? If we're in that category.
We're all guilty of this. Not quite at the capacity that we will later be talking about, but we've all done one of these deeds before in some
form or fashion.
We have not all been as accountable as we could be.
Yeah. All right. So sometimes people who are guilty of using denial, deflection, defending, or diffusion don't realize they're doing it. Honestly, some people just are not that self-aware. They do not realize what they're doing it. And so a lot of times people are often communicating the way they grew up in their family of origin. And, we've talked about deflectors,
diffusers,
and dysfunctional. Yeah, and totally dysfunctional. So if you grow up in an atmosphere,
which is
in a household that has some form of dysfunction, may not have all of them, may have one, may not have any of these, maybe have something else, but your personal relationships are based on what you saw growing up, unless you've taken the time to do the work to heal and back yourself out of it. So sometimes you just have to help the person understand what they said, how it came across, how it had the impact of avoiding responsibility, and hopefully it can help them to be better at embracing feedback and not taking it personally. We're trying to create generational wellness, y'all. We want you to get well. Just think if you're able to explain to somebody listen, what you said, I know how you might not have known that it came across this way, but let me tell you how the other person felt when you said that and what that looks like. And so, as a good leader of whoever you leading, if you leading the if it's your day to be mom at the preschool, in the co-op or whatever, whoever you're leading, if you can help even the little children or whatever see these blind spots and help adults see these blind spots, then we're developing greater emotional intelligence in everybody that we know. And Lord knows the nation needs greater emotional intelligence.
The world, but definitely nation. And just regular intelligence, honestly. Anyway, so here's a couple, we like to give you some practical tips and things to work on, right? Actual things. So, okay, if you are trying to keep a deflector on topic, because that's their job, is to
Get you
gaslight you off the topic. The best thing you could possibly do, right? Stop them before they start taking up time on stuff that we ain't talking about that. Some of y'all just do this in a regular conversation. We started here, and then I'm on this line, and then you start talking, and then you be like, bow, 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 whoa, and then we do a loop-de-loop, ziggity-zag, and then we up here, and I'm like, bro, we was just talking on a straight line. Some of that is ADD or ADHD. No tea, no shade. But some of y'all, I just be like, why are we talking about this? So, just stop the deflector before they start going off down some path about, we talking about this assignment, or we talking about this project, or we talking about this amount of money I'm talking about right here, not something from 3 weeks ago. So just tell them we're not here to talk about that thing. Okay, we're here to talk about this. Okay, just point them back to the real issue at hand. Don't let them start taking you, as Bow Wow once said, when we over here. Okay, we not over there. So kudos and shout out to all the people on the gram. I'm not on X for obvious reasons. F Elon. That are stopping the deflectors from all day deflecting. Okay.
It's been a lot of deflecting going on.
Y'all been doing a whole lot of deflecting about things that ain't got things to do with nothing. And I'm particularly speaking to the Christian community. Y'all, we know Jesus is on the throne. We know God still reigns. We're aware. Okay. Obviously, in the sovereignty, this is the path. And so I've been saying it's above us now. He gave us an opportunity to choose. He always gonna give you an opportunity to choose. He's not knocking the spoon, fork, and knife of free will out of your hands. But when you F that up, then we got to go up to another level of spiritual decision making, consequences, and the like. So we don't want to hear the bullshit in a couple years. 2, it's also okay to say, I assume this is still to a deflector, but it can work for other things. You seem like you're like minimizing the consequences of what's of your
happened to you.
Like you seem like you're trying to like minimize. You're trying to make it seem like it's not that bad, or it's not that big of a deal. But it is. Like anything that you're gonna be held responsible for or accountable for is a big deal. Okay. So you just should be prepared to talk about like the downsides of the issue, the behavior, the action, that kind of stuff. Like, look, this is not about me. This is about said issue and this here problem that we need to discuss. This is for the deflectors. You just got to bring them back. They be way out here with it. And you like, you just come back, okay, to the points at hand. Okay, this is what we talking about. And stop trying to minimize what's getting ready to happen. Because, listen, this doesn't apply to this situation because some people might die. But usually, you're not going to die today, okay? When I first started working on in television, you would have thought them people was doing thoracic surgery or cardiac something. My bosses was very easy on first day. They was like, listen, people going to be running around here acting like this is so important. It is, because we, getting a check. We want to do well. We want to help.
And TV budgets are a lot of money.
TV budgets are a lot of money. I'm not even tripping. But they was like, but no one's going to die here today based on his job. People might feel like they're dying, but no one is. We don't have to.
They don't have.
We don't have
to yogurt versus.
We don't have to literally call someone and be like, "Your father died today because
they didn't have the right yogurt.
You got the wrong chocolate from Trader Joe's." Like, it's just not. It's personal preferences. It's like, it might make your day a little irritated, but it ain't all that. Okay. There are some industries, though. There are some decisions where death is involved. Okay. Those things you really got to take responsibility, accountability, all of those things. Number 3, another low practical thing. Okay. My favorite thing. You got to have the receipts. Actual factual receipts. Now, I know we're in the Thanos universe, and sometimes when you show receipts, people could be looking at it, reading it, seeing it, watching it, hearing it, and they go, "That's not what they're saying. That's not what's happening. That's not what they're doing." We're not talking to them people. We off them. I'm talking to rational thinking, critical reasoning, wherever the people
intelligent.
Wherever the people are that still believe facts is facts. Fat meat is greasy. Okay? Where like real concrete things.
If this, then that. If this, then that.
When you have pictures, accounts, videos, written materials, dates, times, specific observations, specific words, like real concrete things, evidence, witnesses. Okay? The person cannot continue to deny that there is a bigger problem.
Yeah, they can. Clearly.
Obviously, they shouldn't. Let me go ahead and say that. They shouldn't, okay?
But clearly.
Continue to deny. But even when the evidence is staring you all in the face, talking to you in the mouth, saying one thing in one clip, then turn around, telling you something else in the other clip, and y'all go, "Yeah, that happened." It's only been 4 years. It's not like it's been hundreds of years. It's not even been 5. It's not a decade. These are real things. Y'all spend all that time on the damn interwebs. Go back and look at some clips. But now we off into all the conspiracy theories and the deep state, and this was digitally altered. Nigga, was it? Was it digitally altered? Just stop trying to believe things because it just makes you feel good. Because some things are just what they are. The facts, truth, evidence. Everything ain't a bait and switcheroo to mess with your mental mind. Ain't nobody thinking about you that much. But some of y'all have convinced yourselves, okay? And you in the Delulu crew. And not in the Delulu crew, the good one that has hopes and dreams and aspirations and wants to be delusional enough to get you to a more positive, impactful space in your life. We talking about the real, actual, delusional people. I call them lizard people or test tube people walking around that I don't know where they came from. Which brings us to our actual discussion, which we will not be before you long because we said a lot, and there's really not a lot else to say, except we off y'all. But anyway, go ahead, Pam.
So if you got the receipts and the person's still denying that it happened.
Deny.
Then you really have a person who's dishonest and delusional, which brings us to what we really want to talk about tonight. This election, y'all. This election. What happened?
How have y'all so royally effed this
What happened?
Up?
What happened?
The stakes were so high. I came here weekly.
The stakes were so high and the stakes were so clear.
Weekly. And I said, we're not trying to have the series finale of America. Democracy is gone is what the episode is called. Shonda or somebody call me, we can write it. But no, y'all decided in the face of everything at stake. Mass deportation, women's reproductive rights. I'm not talking about your personal choice about what you believe. I'm talking about should people have clean and sterile environments.
If they don't believe what you believe,
they should not have clean and sterile environments to do what they decide to do.
That's between them and their God. You are not God and judge and jury over everybody.
With the free will that your God that you claim and gave them, that's what they decided to do. You decided, F my fellow man. This is what I want to do. And some of y'all that's talking that shit, y'all done had abortions. You done had husbands, boyfriends, brothers, nephews, y'all out here having the abortions.
You clutching your pearls.
The
right
evangelicals don't want to talk about it, but I do not care. Okay. And we can really take it even further. This is really about eugenics and white people feeling like these white women ain't have enough of your babies, but that's not really our problem. That's
We
not
saw
like
the
a
man
personal
on
problem.
the internet today talking about it's not enough white people in America and we are disappearing. And that's the reason.
Well, you want to know why that is? Because you should have stayed in Europe, because that's where y'all from. This ain't your land, no way.
All right.
I'm just saying, because the people clearly is confused. So all I'm saying is, with everything so clearly presented to you as options of, we're going to take away your civil liberties, your overtime pay, your pick a thing, whatever your thing is that you think is so important.
You have $10 t-shirts from China because they about to be $20 because of the tariffs.
Your little business enterprise, you don't want to pay taxes. Some of y'all is going to be paying more taxes because you're not in the tax bracket of the people that ain't going to be paying taxes. Surprise! So y'all have really just...
You're definitely not going to be in the tax bracket of people that are going to get those cuts. But our point here is there were many, many things you could have watched over the years that were true.
Granted, we also got to stop here. That being said, there were also big companies and big businesses that filtered information and where it was going. So I've been saying Donald Trump is not running for first president of America, for the presidency of the United States of America. He is running for first dictator of America. And clearly the dictator group chat was lit because it all worked. Okay. So that being said, America, you already in a dictatorship. Because when you start controlling the information that people see and when they see it, and that determines the decisions that they make, we already dictatorial.
We've lost accountability already.
You lost accountability in news media and information. That's the first step of a dictator. Actually, before that, they got to get you invested with your faith. So all of y'all that love God so much and believe that God will put aside people's free will, their people's ability freedom, to live,
justice for people,
taking care of the poor and orphaned and the sick and the widows,
love your neighbor,
and your neighbors, for you to have a higher tax bracket.
I don't know. I don't purport to know.
As a person who's read the Bible numerous times, your ass is wrong. I'm just here to say, you're wrong. Because I know a lot of y'all can't read. That's obvious. So, a lot of this you're purporting and supporting, and y'all pastors is really leading you astray. And that's not Jesus you're worshiping, it's white supremacy. But we'll get into that on another time. But I'm just saying, you're being led astray. Okay. The deception and disgrace has worked on you, and you done threw all of us to the wolves in order to make your life better. So you think you don't even know you voted against your own self-interest.
Yeah.
And when it finally hits you, it's gonna be too late, baby. You can't look at me. But I
read today, could not be true, but I bet it is true. Some woman said her husband came home and said,
no, that definitely felt like it was true.
He works for a small manufacturing company, and the boss already told them they're not getting any Christmas bonuses because he has to save his money.
Surprise!
Because he doesn't know how much the tariffs for China, when they're going to start, how much they're going to be, and it's going to impact his bottom line. So he got to save his money because he can't give y'all bonuses because he might need that to pay to keep his business running. Just saying, we're going to hear a lot of things.
Because y'all president, y'all pastors, and your lack of education led you to not know what a tariff was, and that was Googleable. Yes. But you can't read it, so
stop saying that people can't read.
Some of them can't. Okay, I'm not shading you.
Not the people on our podcast, because the people who can read, probably the people who cannot read are probably not listening to us anyway.
Well, if you see it, I'm trying to help you out.
So we're not yelling at our people that do know how to read, because they're here with us and not watching another station that shall remain nameless. But anyway, during the campaign, both candidates had it was clear. It was out. It was obvious. You could Google, you could do your research, you could read, you could find what was true, what was not. Hopefully you could see what was a fake ad and what was a real ad and
No,
what,
you couldn't.
but maybe you couldn't. I don't know. But at any rate, accountability is coming. Accountability is going to be coming over the
Maybe.
next 4 years.
Maybe.
It's going to be accountable for some of y'all. It ain't going to be accountable for them. I'm just saying your personal accountability is going to be called into question because of the decisions that you made. And so you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do. You are going to, have to at some point come to grips, own your own mistakes, own your errors.
If you feel like it's a mistake or an error, because right now you don't feel like that.
Yeah, but when you
come to yourself,
and when you see what happens as a result of your decisions, and like my brother says all the time, I hope I'm wrong. God knows, I hope I'm wrong. However,
not
the accountability that has been displayed so far by both of the people who were running for president, there are clearly two divergent paths. And
y'all said y'all wanted law and order and voted for a 34th time felon.
I believe that we had choices. I believe that some of us made good choices. I believe some of us made choices based on the information we had. God bless us. God bless you. Or lack thereof. But at the end of the day, we're all going to be held accountable for what we did.
But shout out to the coast because we held it down.
What we did and what we did not do. We all have the receipts.
That was the West Coast, by the way.
We all have the receipts to see why it did not make sense on character alone, just on character. And I heard Joy Reid say the other day, if you weren't following the whole election, but you just watched some of the things that Donald Trump did over the past 2 weeks, it should have made you question whether the moral character of this person needed to be president. But I understand for some people, the accountability of moral character is not important. Now, this is what I don't understand. How the moral character doesn't matter to Christians. If you didn't claim to be a Christian, I can understand the moral character not mattering to you. But if you claim that, I don't understand how on the other hand, you are like, well, I don't care about his character so much. I just want my money right. Them two things do not go together, as they say on Sesame Street.
Which will lead me to believe perhaps you should check that Christianity part. Because in the Bible, that again, I've read, perhaps some of you all have read as well, since I was harsh in my tone previously. You cannot serve both God and mammon. That's monies for those that need the Greek and Hebrew translation translated to English. So it's not that money's bad. It's the love of money that's bad. That's just a basic Jesus principle that obviously some people either did not read, had not heard,
do not care,
or just completely ignored.
Yeah.
So I think from the Christian standpoint, the fact that y'all ain't doing bare basic things, we're not even talking about upper echelon things. We talking about bare base. Remember, we talking about foundational principles at the top. Some of y'all ain't even doing foundational things. Talking about, who should lead us, who's anointed by God to lead. But clearly, the principles they not matching. If you've read, and you can read, the book that you claim your whole life is based on. Because as we said before we started this, where is the scripture about the unborn babies? I'll wait. So, wherever you get your little information from, you just always want to test it. You want to try the spirit by the spirit. That's also in there. Y'all be out here making up Medea scriptures. You need to know what's really in there before you start running your mouth about things you know not of. Okay. So, and I'm going to say, moral things aside, this is a person who's held this position as a leader before. And y'all acting like that track record wasn't available. Let's take all the moral things off the table, shall we? Y'all remember when we was all in the panini? Who was the leader at that point? And the lack of accountability was you knew that this was that bad, but you downplayed it and was like, nah, it ain't that bad. That's what you told us on the outside, but behind closed doors, you was like, oh, it's terrible. It's
I try not to talk about it.
People is really dying. I don't want to talk about it. That's on tape. Them is receipts. Y'all forgot about those receipts? Y'all forgot about drinking bleach? Y'all forgot about maybe we should put a light inside the body? Y'all forgot about the Klan? There's just so many things. We don't even need to take Jesus out of it. If that's not you, we just talking about basic in front of your face stuff that we talking about that you was like, yeah, I like that. Right?
Good to me.
It sounds wonderful.
And here's listen.
I'm gonna protect women whether they want it or not. Is that not predator talk?
And here's the thing that I want people to understand, and maybe because we're Black, we don't struggle with this, but
it's definitely because we're Black.
But we can't hide being Black.
It's not a thing.
It's not a thing. We cannot hide being Black.
Now, some of y'all be trying though.
Yeah, I know.
Some of y'all be real shouldered up with the whites. That's what we said.
But you can't hide the fact that you're Black. Okay. But I'm telling you, some of you others that voted for Donald Trump, and you
think a lot of others.
The others, and I don't just mean that category, the others. I mean all you others, other than Black people, that you think that because you're this kind of other, you're this kind of Latina, you are this kind of Asian, you are this kind of whatever else you are, then you think that Donald Trump is not going to apply the rules
to you, which is dumb. Because
he gonna think y'all all Black, just like he gonna think y'all all
whatever you are
immigrants, just like we're all Black. He's gonna think you're all.
And let me go ahead and say this, okay? That's called assimilating. Number one, you feel like the closer you are to whiteness, the more proximity you have to white things.
Not gonna happen.
As Black people who come from a community where people have done that historically, it don't work. Because once they find out you not like them, and they not like us, it's a wrap for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So no amount
I'm praying for y'all. I honestly
no amount of money, no amount of I'm married to a white person, no amount of I have a white baby, no amount of that is gonna save you. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. So y'all have made your executive decisions. We just asking you to lay in the accountability bed that you made. And you stack that thing high. Sheets, pillows, duvet, all of that. You high in the bed. Okay. So enjoy that nap in that bed. Okay. But just know that you've killed democracy. Mm-hmm. You've killed women's rights. You've killed we knew we wasn't gonna have no Social Security. I already knew that. There's just so many things that you've killed in the name of your own self-interest and proximity to whiteness for people that really do not care about you. But you're gonna find out.
And I hope I'm wrong. Let me just say I hope
we're not wrong. We done seen this. Wrong. We done seen this movie before. And if you are a history buff or reader, even a watcher of a YouTube documentary, I don't want to just be out here talking about we read. I listen to Audible. Same difference. But even if you just be watching clips and learning things from the tick of the talk of it, okay? You could have been up on game about some of these things. But everybody don't learn their lessons the same way. So
listen,
when you get this whooping, take it.
The election,
take it.
Underscored that America's complex relationship with accountability is so bizarre. I'll never forget Donald Trump saying he could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and he would get off. And I was like, how arrogant and whatever. But he has proven.
And a man said he could shoot somebody on the White House lawn.
He could
be cool with me. I don't have no problems.
All those things. You know what I'm saying?
Lizard people, test tube people. This is what I'm talking about.
And on the White House, he might get away with you on my private property or whatever. But the audacity of all these other things and people looking at it and weighing it and making decisions to the best of their ability about it is a little disconcerting for me as a Black woman. And I'm going to keep it real and I'm going to keep it 100, as they say. I'm 69 years old and I have lived through the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King being killed and Bobby Kennedy being killed and John F. Kennedy being killed and Medgar Evers being killed and who else? Just go down the list.
Google all those people if you don't know.
And the little children being bombed in Birmingham in the church and all the things and every single time I have found it, and we as a people have found it in our hearts to believe that America is going to do better. They are going to hold these people accountable. As someone I've watched as they burned down Tulsa and Rosewood and what's the one in Delaware?
You weren't alive for that,
but I mean, the history of it. We're knowledgeable of it. And so when you stack all that onto a person and you keep saying onto a people, not just a person. Abusive, actually. You stack all that onto a people and you keep saying at some point, America is going to have to be accountable for all of this, some of it, any of it. I don't care. Any, some, all, and take responsibility for past actions and a vision for the future and try to figure out what that looks like and try to improve and try. And I think what hit so hard yesterday, because people keep saying, why do you say it was a sad day? Why do you think it was a sad day? That's why it was a sad day for many of us. The 92% of Black women who voted for Kamala Harris, that's why it was a sad day for us, because this is something we have gone through over and over and over and over again. And we keep praying and we keep believing and we keep fasting and we keep asking God to change the hearts and minds of America.
Which are people, by the way. But
the people in America. And so it gets a little hard and it gets a little sad. And we have a right to be sad for like however long it takes you. You know, like Jessica said, end of the year, end of the week, whatever. I'm better today than I was tomorrow, than I was yesterday. That's all I can say is each day I'm going to try to get a little bit better and see what God would have me to do. And yet again, another scenario where America showed their facts.
But here's the thing also that I want to say. It's particularly painful to Black women because Black women are, I'm going to say it, it's a huge statement, the most selfless people to have ever existed. Because Black women be thinking about everybody when they be making an executive decision. As Trevor Noah said, go back and watch this clip. I was watching on YouTube today from when he left The Daily Show. And he said, if you really want to know about America, talk to Black women. He was like, they just got everything figured out. He was like, because they can't afford to look around and find out. Because however bad things are going to be for said majority people that did this, that was the best, it's going to be way worse for Black women. It's going to be way worse for Black children. So whatever the compound thing is, and we have had to be keenly aware of that to survive this country. So when we tell y'all some stuff, as people who were kidnapped and brought here and figured out how to sustain in this country, and y'all
thrive,
and y'all go, you niggers don't know what you're talking about. That goes for white people and every other person of color that feel like our skin invalidates us as humans and we don't know what we're talking about. You gonna find out what we've already always known. So we was trying to protect y'all from the stuff that we already know, and y'all was like, F that, we don't care. Very problematic. That being said, that's the personally offensive, heartbreaking part of it for Black women. The other thing I'm gonna say is about America's accountability, okay, or lack thereof. This is why I say some of this is spiritual consequences from the God I serve, okay? Because America has been doing a lot of F for a long time to a lot of people around
a lot of places,
in a lot of ways. You're doing it right now. That's not to say that a Kamala presidency was going to solve all that. We already know. We know they did some missteps with Palestine. We already know. They still trying to fund Israel. It's a lot of things, okay? This is why God said y'all shouldn't even be governing yourself in the first place. Y'all should let me govern y'all because y'all don't know what you're doing. He was right. He was right. Okay. That's in the Bible. I read it. Like I said. The point is, some of this, it's above us now, as we all like to say. Some of this is cosmic, spiritual consequences for a lot of craziness. America got to be held accountable for a lot of the things that they've done. And I hate it had to come this way.
Plan to do.
I hate that it's at the expense of so many other people. I hate we got to live through it. But sometimes when God decides he really about to get in something, the rest of us got to get out the way. You know how it was when your mama came in or your daddy came in and that one sibling was about to get that whooping. Y'all could all want to help them. But hey, it's your turn in the hot seat, bro. It's your turn in the hot seat. Okay. And back to accountability when we're talking about this orange nigga. Okay. The point is, that doesn't matter. The point is, we don't know if there's going to be any level of accountability for this man. Because he done already jet set it or whatever he's doing. Jedi mind tricking y'all into not holding him accountable for the stuff he's already done. But we're not talking about the stuff he getting ready to do. Because lest we forget, because some of y'all not listening, this is a vengeful, vindictive, little penis having terrible man. Okay? So he got something to prove. He got enemies in a lot of places. If you don't think he coming, y'all thought J6 was bad, baby, that was a dress rehearsal for whatever's coming. And we've never been, remember I said, he's not running for president. This first dictator. He on dictator time right now. So now he got the House, the Senate, the White House, and the Supreme Court that's already given him immunity with people and he appointed to the Supreme Court.
Regional judges, a gazillion judge appointments that he's done.
And he's about to weed out a bunch of people in government. J6 only didn't go down the way they wanted to go down because there was some people still left that was standing on the wall that said, we fighting for democracy, bro. We clicked up, including hang Mike Pence. So that being said, they just gonna move them people out the way and put the Trump loyalists in there. So what you're dealing with is an insecure, egomaniacal, crazy person who lost an election, who got hella just people he hates, right? And completely unchecked power. We don't know what kind of guardrails he's going to challenge. We already saw the stuff he did last time. So now he's putting all the puzzle pieces in place. So can't nobody stop. What accountability? Who going to check me, boo? Where are the 5-star generals? If he say, I'm about to turn the military on the American people, who going to stop him? If the person who would have stopped them got fired and now he done brought his homeboy in and now they're in charge, what's going to happen? These are the type of critical reasoning things for all the intellectuals in the room that we was thinking about and could foresee. For some of y'all, that was just like, but I want the tax cut though.
And like I said, so many people are not going to get the tax cut. And so many people just believe he's not going to do that. And I hope you're right. With every fiber of my being, I pray and hope you're right. But accountability must happen. And that's all we're trying to say.
And that's the main thing. I hope that there will remain people in power, in positions to hold people accountable. Because that's the only way they're not going to be able to do that stuff. But if they decide to move them people out the way, then what you going to do? We're just asking questions. That's all. Unchecked power with no accountability leads to dictatorship. So, just want to point
out. To wrap up, accountability is not just a buzzword. You know, something we say. Well, let's talk. No, it's a fundamental principle that drives personal growth, professional success, and as we're about to see, the progress of society. So
for better
or for worse.
But really for worse.
So by embracing accountability, we empower ourselves to learn, to improve, to create positive change if the people are held accountable. Positive change in our lives, in the lives of the people around us, in the society. And as we've seen from recent events, accountability is can have, will have, going to have, has had in the history of this country, far-reaching consequences. So whether it's in our personal lives or on a national stage. Power of taking responsibility for our actions cannot be underestimated. And we just want y'all to think about it as
And
we
I
get
will
going
say,
here.
and when man-made accountability fails, nobody pray for me. Because then when man-made accountability fails, then the Lord got to step in. And when you on that spiritual time, you on the spiritual time clock. We can't come save you, help you, take you out the hands. You got to learn your lesson for yourself. Okay.
Amen.
So accountability starts with you. You always, it's your star player. It's what is intended for you to learn in this whole lifetime. Okay. Multiple lessons over multiple times. And if you get the lessons on the first time, you ain't got to repeat them. And you might not have to fall into spiritual hands at very, very high stake consequences, which is where we find ourselves right now. So,
a reprobate
you
mind.
You got to ask yourself, what steps can you take today to embrace, enforce, if need be, what is necessary accountability in your regular individual life. Okay. Learn from what we all just collectively, that was a collective lesson we just had. But take said lessons into your everyday life, okay, to check your accountability with the 3 C's and the D's, okay? Don't be deflecting and doing all that. Really own your stuff. Stand on business, as y'all like to say. Some of y'all stood on business, and some of y'all,
never mind. Just that's enough.
Some of y'all did not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you did not. So accountability is really how we create generational wellness for ourselves, our families, and the culture at large, because
we need it.
Obviously.
It's good for you.
And if we had a little more personal accountability, perhaps we wouldn't be where we are. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We have some things to get off our chest. I'm sure you have some things to get off your chest. Let us know.
We hope we helped you.
How are you going to give us some accountability steps? Maybe you've been convicted, challenged, corrected, heard some things you had never heard before. Let us know in the comments. We're going to be talking about accountability for the rest of the month. Not in, who knows? We could still be talking about in a political context. I'm not even going to say that. But we're going to move on from this. Unless something else happens, okay? Because it's still very early in this nightmare we're living. But anyway, whatever we're going to be talking about accountability-wise, you're not going to know if you're not subscribed on YouTube. Follow us on IG, Facebook fan base. We are at Create Generational Wellness on all of the platforms. We got a couple more episodes left. Once we get to, are we doing 99 or are we doing 100?
You 100. Said 100.
All right. Once we get to 100, we're going to be taking a break until January.
Maybe
we don't know what our lives are going to look like by then, but clearly we got some things that we need to figure out. Anyway, we are revamping the show. We are going to be getting our marketing together, doing some things. So if you've been rocking with us sort of in the shadows, we appreciate it. So yeah, just make sure you're following us, staying tapped in, tuned in, so you know what's up. At Create Generational Wellness on all the platforms. Thank you so much for joining us for this Truthful Chat, and we'll holler at y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.